Hey, what's up you guys? It's Kyle, and I wanted to make a celebration video for Bitcoin reaching an all-time high. Now, I know I've been making a lot of videos lately about Bitcoin, and I don't want this channel to be just about that. There's a lot of channels out there with the latest and greatest news, and they are great to watch, so check those out. However, in this video, I wanted to make a video about my overall view of Bitcoin and the research that I've done and tell you about that, as well as why I think you should invest with it and how I think you should invest with it. So guys, before we go into this deep dive with Bitcoin and with blockchain technology, take a second to smash the like button below, and you'll know it worked once it turns a different color, so go check that out and do that. Also, follow me on Instagram if you have not done so already. I post there pretty much daily, so you will get other aspects of my life as well, and I'm on Twitter pretty much daily as well. Guys, if you haven't subscribed, do that also, and hit the notification bell so you will get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you stay to the end of this video, I will tell you how to get free cryptocurrency, so wait, and I'll give you an update about that. Okay, so Bitcoin has been heating up a lot lately. And, I've been looking at it ever since the last crash and reading up on it, studying on it. I've been buying in here and there. I bought in, I think, 7,000 the first Bitcoin I ever bought, and it went up to 12, and then it crashed again. And then, I bought in around 5, and then 3,500. And then, as they say in stocks, it's hard to catch a falling knife. So you don't want to keep investing as it's going down, but I waited till it bottomed and then it started slowly rising. I think I bought in around 8,500 and then made a major investment around 13,500 when I heard that PayPal and Square, PayPal was adopting it to use and allow its users, 300 million plus users that is, to purchase crypto right on their platform, as well as Square and MicroStrategy's big investments in it. And then I admittedly bought my last Bitcoin or so around the 18,200 mark just because I wanted a certain number of Bitcoins. Okay, so on November 30th, Bitcoin hit an all-time high. Now, it definitely hasn't got as much news as it did in the previous rally, and that's why I wanted to make this, because this is a different type of rally. This is different. If you look at the graph below, the big overall chart, you will see that it's different. There was a quick uptick and then a sharp drop, and ever since there's been a lot of adjustments. It's matured. It was created out of a 2008 financial crash, and it slowly built up. And then it was much riskier around 2012, 2015, and it caught wind around 2016, and it went parabolic, and then it crashed. And it's matured, and it's gained more adoption, and it's a much different market right now than we're in. So I want to go over a couple of things. What is Bitcoin? Okay, one might argue, well, it's nothing. It's not worth anything. Nothing really is. Gold's not worth anything unless the majority of people think it's worth something. Same thing with fiat, with paper money. It's not worth anything unless the majority of people and the consensus is that it's worth something. And the original dollar was that it was backed by gold. It was the gold standard. And once that was done away with, then really the dollar didn't amount to as much gold as it was worth. And it was done away with that. So there was more inflation and the Fed just printing money. Now, if you think about what is gold, well, gold is something that is a finite material, and it's only mined a certain amount is mined, and it's, there's a finite amount of it. So it's valuable. Everybody is deemed that it's valuable. Bitcoin's in that respect better than fiat money because paper money is just keep getting printed. There's more and more that it's getting printed, so the inflation goes up. So now if you look at it compared to gold, gold is a finite amount, Bitcoin's a finite amount. There's only a certain amount being mined. However, if you think about it in the way that gold relating to Bitcoin is the digital gold, and in fact, is a better version of gold itself. Well, why is that? Because think about, why is writing an email better than writing a letter? That's the answer. Bitcoin is actually the internet of money. Think about it when beepers came out. They first came out and everyone said, no, beepers are for what? Are you a drug dealer? That's only people that use beepers. Then cell phones came out. They said the same thing about cell phones. then the mainstream adopted it. And you're pretty much not a human anymore if you don't have a cell phone. Same thing with the internet. When the internet first came out, people were saying the same thing. What the heck's the internet? They didn't understand it. And then now look at it. Every household has the internet. The world has changed because of the internet. How we do business is completely different. Nobody can argue that because of the internet. And it's the same thing with Bitcoin and blockchain. People are saying the same thing about Bitcoin, saying, oh, it's only for corrupt people have it because you can't, keep track of it. And maybe, yes, maybe at first it was used for that. But it's becoming more mainstream, more adoption is happening from institutions. So it's the same kind of procedure and the same example of history that was before. Now we're looking at those things like cell phones and the internet and completely agree that that changed the whole game. Well, that is the same case with blockchain and with Bitcoin. Now, if you want some more explanation about this, I really suggest you go and check out this guy, Andreas Antonopoulos. I heard him speak at a TED Talk. He actually wrote a book called The Internet of Money, which I have not read, but I probably should. But check that out if you want. You can just Google him. You can find videos of him talking. The guy is, when I watched that video, I completely understood everything he was talking about. And if you want to get more information on that, go check that out. So the second major thing about this is that Bitcoin has grown into a $360+ billion market cap, bigger than any banks, just by the mere fact that this creator, who knows, we still don't really know who the creator or the creators of this was. And the fact that it was just, there's really been no marketing for it. It's just grown by being created and existing. So the third major thing is that blockchain technology is, we can all pretty much be in agreement about this, that it is something that is here to stay and it's going to change the game. And even the JP Morgan executive that went on record saying last week that he's maybe missing something with Bitcoin. However, they've always been a big proponent of blockchain. And what is blockchain? All right, I'm going to read a definition of exactly what blockchain is. Blockchain is a distributed ledger technology that is decentralized, managed by its users rather than any central institution. It records its transactions on a block that is attached to this existing line of a chain that goes back to the very first transaction executed. It's meant to be impossible to corrupt, and those who use the ledger must trust the technology behind it. So this case in point is that blockchain is actually bigger. It's a bigger scope than just Bitcoin. Now, I really hope Bitcoin is the one coin that, and I feel like it's the most adopted right now, and it's the most, everyone's using it. It's the index basically that we're using. However, there's 7,000 other coins that are made. I mean, I could even make a Kyle coin after this video if I wanted to. However, I don't think that any of these really are going to last and stand the test of time. But everything is definitely made from ledgers. So blockchain technology, now I know this from doing real estate even. If you think about how and you'll look at this in the Andreas Antonopoulos video, he explains this, where I know that if I go to buy a house, or if someone buys a house, they go through title search, which goes through every line of ownership that home and that property had. So it'll see who owned it at this time, and it was passed to this person legitimately, and so on and so forth. So there's no chain and no break in this. Now, this can be corrupted because this is humans that keep these ledgers. And at some point, someone could have, subtracted something and added something else in. The point with blockchain is it's a ledger technology, but there's no centralized, it's decentralized. There's nothing that could corrupt this. It's decentralized and is trusted by everyone. And actually every transaction will have to be in agreements with every transaction that was made before it. So it's a 100% incorruptible technology. The next main point is that even if people are saying, well, this is going to get out of control, it's going to be regulated. If it's regulated, that's actually a positive about Bitcoin, because that means that it's being adopted. So just because regulation is coming in doesn't mean that it's going to be worth any less. It's the fact that regulation might come in means that it's really becoming something that might need to be regulated. Okay, so what should you do now? Well, here's the thing. I don't believe you should invest all your life savings into this. However, it's much less risky than it was in 2011, 2015 investing. The market matured greatly. I still don't think that you should invest everything. And I, for one, invest 10% of my whole net worth. I know there's other people like Raul Pal that invest 98% into Bitcoin and maybe Ethereum. But I don't have all of that invested. I do not agree that you should do that right away. Just like anything else, allocate it and diversify it, just like in stocks. In real estate, I believe that real estate is still one of the greatest investments you can make. They're not making any more land, and everyone needs a house and a place to stay. So there's so much leverage you can do with real estate. Real estate's a great investment. Stocks, even in stocks, there's so much different. There's speculative stocks. There's the stocks I have, weed stocks, the space stocks, the Virgin Galactic, stuff like that. There's dividend stock plays. There's investing in the market in general, the S&P 500. So there's many different ways to diversify within stocks itself. Also, just in cash. Having enough cash reserves to sit there in an account to save it for a rainy day, even though you don't want to have the majority sitting in cash, just want to have enough that is, emergency if you need it, and it'll carry you for, 6 months to 12 months, I believe. So that's the main thing. You want to be able to diversify still. Okay, so the mindset to have is there's a lot of bullish predictions out there, not the get rich quick scheme and mindset where, you're going to put in $1,000 and become, and turn it into $100,000 overnight. It's still a possibility, maybe not overnight. You don't want to go into it with that mindset. You want to go into it with the long-term view. And, I have a lot of people that also are in financial institutions and financial, they have financial jobs where they're not able to exactly invest in Bitcoin. So they're going through the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, which you can find on the stock market, the GBTC. Now, the one thing to keep in mind with that is you do pay huge premiums on your Bitcoin and on your cryptocurrency by investing in that way. But that's one way of doing it. However, I really believe that even right now, you should go into it. It's still a safe enough play, but there are there are rewards. It does have the potential, even now at all-time highs, to reach 60 to 100 times the investment. So while it's still a pretty safe investment, and it might go down in the short term, that's the potential that you have with this. So I would just suggest dollar cost averaging in. Many people don't understand that you don't have to buy one full Bitcoin for $20,000. You can invest any amount of money. You can invest in $1, $100, $1,000 into this and buy portions of Bitcoins, which are called Satoshis. So, every Bitcoin is divided up, I think it's about 1 million Satoshis. So that's a possibility of doing it. And I think you should dollar cost average in, buy a little now, wait for it, buy a little later. If it dips, buy a little more, and just as much as you're comfortable with. Okay, so guys, that's everything for today. I do have 2 quick things to talk about. Down below, as promised, free crypto. If you want, use I use the exchange Coinbase. There's a link below. With my affiliate link to that, you will get, I believe it's $10 free in crypto by just signing up for that, and then you can start buying any kind of crypto you want. Also, Robinhood, where you will get it's a stock trading platform. You will get $5 free, or a free stock actually. So go sign up to that if you need a stock exchange to start trading on, as well as Acorns, which I like because it links to your credit card and it will round up your digital change every time you start spending. So the more you're spending, the more you're actually saving. And it's a good way to have a forced savings account. So check that out. Guys, if you think this was great information, please like this video and make sure it turns a different color, because then you will know it helped with the YouTube algorithm. So thank you very much. And guys, subscribe if you have not done so already, and hit the notification bell so you'll get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you are on Instagram, just follow me there as well. You will get other aspects of my life. And Twitter, I'm on there pretty much daily, so go check me out on there. Guys, thank you so much. And one thing I want to leave you off with is this. If you're watching this and you're getting all excited about, investing a little bit in Bitcoin, and I do want to say that money's not everything. It's great, and it's great to invest, but if your only drive is to make money and to get rich, well, there's a lot of rich people that are completely miserable. So I suggest make sure you have a passion, something that you could do every day without it feeling like any work, and a drive for where you aspire to be, not just with making money and being rich. And that you got family in order, you got your perspectives in order, you got your fitness in order, your health in order, because if you don't have health, you don't have anything. So just leaving you off with that overall mindset. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you have a great day.